Hi, it's Wayne here from Adreno Brisbane. Welcome to Adreno Tips. Today it's all about roller guns, how to make your own rubbers. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but I'll just show you mine and you can use that as a guideline. This is how I make the bridles. I don't use beads in the bridles for the roller gun. The beads can run too close or too hard against the roller itself when it's under pressure and split the rubber. Some small beads seem to be okay. Well, I just use knots. So to begin, I just a straightforward, simple knot, and then that there's going to be your loading assist. So you want to make it so when the rubbers are on, she sits on the front like that. Just cut this down. What I've got here is I've got the white Dyneema. That's this one here. That's your actual bridle, and the load assist is a blue 3mm Spectra. It's just easy to grab onto and it's not so hard on your fingers. Okay, some people will just use 2 lots of Dyneema. That's just personal taste. Give it a bit of a burn. This makes it easier to push down inside the rubber to get rid of these protruding ends. The next thing we're going to do is on the other end of the rubber, the end that's closest to the handle, we're going to tie these as a bridle. You could use a bead here. I've just used a figure of 8 knot round here, back up through here, figure of 8. I try and make it the same size, so you want to make it as even possible, so that's not going to be the same size, so we just put a little bit less here and drag it through. Now that's looking closer. Bang, there we go. We've got 2 loops there that are pretty much the same size. Once again, snip it off. Give it a bit of a burn. Okay, these ones are easy to put in, but you're gonna need long nose pliers. I use silicone grease. The best way to do it is you grab the knot itself. Put a bit of silicone grease on it. Grab the rubber, don't hold it out here because as soon as you miss it, it's going to go down through and you're going to stab yourself. Hold it in close and get there and push the whole end of the long nose down the rubber. Squeeze the rubber with your fingers and open the pliers, pull them out like so. If you don't think it's down far enough, your Phillips head can push it down a little bit further. It's good to be a bit further, make sure, and then you tie your constrictor knot there. That's your constrictor knot. Pull it right down, about 3mm off the end, 3 or 4mm off the end works fine. I put a loop in one side, but I just wind it round here. Saves me cutting up too much constrictor cord. When you're pulling it, just like you're making any rubbers, you pull it until it stops. Once it stops, it's not going to go any further. You don't want to damage the rubber. There we go. Cut that. I fray the ends, like so. Just makes it easier when you're burning it, and I burn it again. Now you see it's not sticking out much, but what you do is you pull that there, pull it out. That's your end there. So I like to use a tapered end like this, where it comes up through the roller head. Not everybody does, it's just my personal preference. So now we've got the 2 ends, we're going to put the bridle in. We use the same strategy. Grab hold of the knots, a bit bigger knot, so it'll be a little bit awkward. No big deal, a little bit of silicone grease. So here we go, slipping it in here. It's a big knot. Just jam it right in deep. Take it out. Push it in with your Phillips head screwdriver. There we go. Get to the edge of the black on the rubber. Try not to let it slip off. When you fray it, it melts pretty quick, which means you're not leaving the flame next to the rubber for any extended period. Probably makes the rubber last a little bit longer. This is your rubbers for your roller gun. Now I've got a Mani-Sub gun here, and really the best bet is you find out what your makers recommend and go with their recommendations. With the Mani-Sub, they recommend take your barrel length, and each rubber should be half the barrel length. This is a 90, so each rubber is 45. Now you can see here that the bridle goes either side of that, and you've got your loading assist there. Now the bottom section, I just do a quick knot here. Sometimes it's hard to do a knot with Dyneema that won't slip, so I've worked this one out here. There. Now it becomes my next knot. And this round, we've often seen this knot where we put it round once, like so, and push it through there. That's the knot we quite often use. But this one here, with Dyneema to stop it sliding, I put it around a second time. Really works well. And then it slips up through itself, like there. Let it pull in tight. There we go. That's not going to slip. There are different ways that you can work out your make your pre-tension work, and I use approximate what I'm going to use, and I lace it up like that. So I've got one done and one like so. Then I sit here. You can do this with two people, but I do it myself, and I work out what pre-tension I'm going to want. These are 16mm rubbers, so I want a bit there. So I'll put it through to there and get a mark on it like so, and then I'll just take it off the back and use that mark there to tie it with. So that will give me the pre-tension that I need. So the next step is loading the pre-tension rubber up. There we go. Getting them even, looking good on the front there. Okay, so that's what it should look like. But you've got to check them. You know, how's it going to be like to load? Is that going to be a little... I just picked that and I'm going, I think I'd like it a little tougher. So that's how to rig up a roller gun. It really is simply making two rubbers with just a little bit more on the bridles. Not a big deal. Learn to do it yourself. That gives you the chance that if ever you need to, you can do it in the field. You don't have to bring it into the shop. I'm quite happy to do it, but it's better off if you do. So, Treno tips, roller guns. Cheers.